Welcome to the
That's
Anything
just
Else
yours
podcast.
now, I guess. Okay, cool.
I'm
You can have it.
Dallas Outsider, and this is my co-host here, Alex Lentz.
You are my co-host, but sure, and producer.
I own you.
No, you don't. You distribute me. There's a difference. And who's this? Bobbity boo. It's Brock Neilson.
Hello.
So this week we've got our beloved drummer Brock on the podcast. So Brock, we know you very, very well at this point, but a lot of our audience may not. So right now, music is fair. Everything's fair game right now. Tell us about yourself. Who's Brock Neilson?
Well, yes, I am the drummer of November Down, the band fronted by this fellow and guitared by that guy over there. And I am also the lead singer of a band called Yeoman. And during the day, I'm a music teacher and volunteer coordinator. So yeah, I'm gonna talk probably about some superheroes and stuff today. Yeah, I don't know how
All
long.
right.
this segment
If you want to
is.
learn how to play drums, this is your guy. Especially if you're a young child. He's good at teaching kids.
Yes.
And therefore, he's good at teaching adults that are a little bit hard to
Yeah.
handle.
They're like, yeah, adults are just like big kids.
Especially adults that want to be musicians. We're kind of childish by nature.
Yeah.
Well, Dallas, he already kind of said it, but today, Dallas, he's going to be talking about superheroes and comic book stuff today.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Are you not going to steal my catchphrase this time?
What was your question? We can talk about
Brock, we know you, we love you, but for God's sake, man, can you talk about anything else?
Well, we know what we're going to talk about, so why would you ask him about?
Piss off. How'd you get into comic books, Brock, and superheroes and stuff?
Well, I just growing up, just watching stuff. My brother had Johnny Grav comics in the Clubhouse magazine, and I would watch Larry Boy and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And Peter Pan could fly, so I was acquainted with the concept. So,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Peter Pan?
My favorite Peter Pan?
Yeah.
The Disney one, like the
Okay.
animated.
Aren't they all
3D
the
one.
Disney one?
Well, yeah, but like
no,
the
yeah.
cartoon one or like
cartoon one,
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
The definitive edition?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say my favorite would be the Robin Williams Peter Pan.
Hook.
Okay, Hook. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Hook's
yeah.
an interesting watch,
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Some very, honestly, who plays Captain Hook in that one? Is it, it's,
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dustin Hoffman in that movie is just chewing the scenery. Like, he's just given the performance of a lifetime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, with what he's given, it's kind of
True, yeah.
impressive, actually.
Yeah.
The commitment on that film.
Yeah. It's kind of
I-
a stacked cast, honestly.
Yeah, look, it
Yeah.
honestly is.
It's-
No business having that good of a cast.
it is a 10 out of 10 casting for that movie.
Like Robin Williams doing Robin Williams things. Well, actually,
Yeah.
not quite doing Robin Williams things.
No,
which
honestly, he
is-
plays it pretty straight.
Which is
Yeah.
when he does his really good work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
was the first I'm gonna guess Batman, but what was your first favorite superhero?
I think I was into Spider-Man before Batman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw Spider-Man at my aunt's place one time. To like the old cartoons they happened to be
Yeah,
on the
those
TV.
are so
and
good.
yeah, he's like webbing together Doc Ock's, arms and stuff. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's pretty handy. I wish I could do that.
And then a couple frames later, he's doing it again to save on animation budget.
Probably, yeah.
My
But I
dad,
didn't notice.
my dad used to tape all of those for me. So my dad used to tape everything because he thought VHS taping technology is the peak of our existence
Yeah,
as humans.
well,
so
it was,
I
yeah.
have stacks of VHS tapes that are that cartoon, the
Yeah.
old Fantastic Four, the old Hulk one. The Hulk one, in my opinion, was the worst of the animation budget though, because it was literally just repeat frames over and over and over.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
slideshow more than a
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, I hated the Hulk when I was a kid because he was ugly.
Is that why you liked him, Dallas? You identify?
Yeah. Did you watch the Spider-Man stuff before it was on Teletoon Retro, or was it what
All-
did you watch it before on? Because I know Teletoon Retro didn't come out till late 2000s, I want to say, or mid 2000s.
I think Teletoon still had it.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Interesting.
sure. I
Yeah, I
don't know.
love-
I don't know, or whatever other channel. I don't know.
I loved Teletoon Retro as a kid, like Bugs Bunny and Tweety Show and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What was the first comic you ever bought?
I know I bought an Incredibles one fairly early on in the in the journey, so that was pretty good. But I really liked Tintin, so I was already kind of into the graphic novel format before I was really into superheroes.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's the other thing I think a lot of people kind of tend to forget with comics is that like there's a lot of comic stuff beyond your traditional superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like the origins of it in pulp magazines and stuff like that too, like in detective stories and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's the OG stuff.
Yeah, and that was like kind of the other thing I was into when I was a kid was detective stories. I was like,
Which is why you probably like Batman.
Yeah, exactly. He's a detective. But what I've kind of realized over the years with Batman is like there's hardly any detective stuff in any Batman like literature or movies or anything. Like there's barely. It's mostly about fighting. Which, by the time I was a teenager, I was like, well, that's what I'm really here for anyway. So.
Which I think honestly by that time period in comics, I think that's what they were leading into anyway.
Yeah, they didn't care anymore. After Dark Knight Returns, I feel like they were just like, okay, no, they want brutality.
Yeah, after Frank Miller and Alan Moore had their go.
Yeah.
Dallas, Dallas has only ever read one graphic novel. Do you know what that is, Brock?
The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl is such a great concept of a character. I really, really dig that. What is it, Dallas?
It was Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Okay, Watchmen's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
I would argue it hasn't ever really had a good solid adaptation.
Yeah, I didn't mind the movie.
Yeah, the movie was pretty good.
Too much, glowing blue privates and stuff. But other than that, pretty good movie, I would say. Yeah.
Too much CGI dong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's Magnum dong.
I would say there would be about as much dong as there was in the comic.
Honestly, he hangs dong in the comic book.
Yeah, it's just a line though, more than an actual dong.
Instead of Billy Crudup in prosthetics.
Yeah.
Watchmen's a good one.
Yeah.
I liked V for Vendetta too, as far as graphic novels go.
You
read V for Vendetta?
I have. Yeah, I have a real problem with the scene where he like puts her in a concentration camp.
Yeah.
To like tell her what's up, to harden her or whatever. I'm just like, no. That's too much of a worship of suffering type story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like something that I've like contended with a lot in my life. I've run into a lot of people who think that way, and so I'm just like, whenever I see it, I'm like, no, get that away from me. You're insane. Yeah.
I'd say I think my opinion on that one is the opposite of Watchmen, where I actually think the movie adaptation of V for Vendetta is better than the graphic novel.
Oh yeah,
it's a phenomenal film. Like Hugo Weaving putting in an incredible performance.
Yeah, the graphic novel, it's not that good of art.
No, yeah.
Like you can't recognize anybody.
Yeah.
Like there's supposed to be all these like politicians and stuff. They're supposed to be different characters, but it's like, well, you drew them all the same, so I don't know.
That's fair enough, honestly.
Put a black guy in there.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Did you ever see that DC comic where they were teasing about the what's it called? The collaboration of the Justice League and Watchmen.
Oh, that's the
Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, Doomsday Clock.
I never read that.
I never read it either. It seemed really cool.
It took them a really long time to finish. Like they would put out one issue like every 7 years or something. And then they finally got it done, and then people are like, all right, well, that was that.
Yeah. Too much build up, like, because like Dr. Manhattan fighting Superman, that's a pretty sick concept.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take years to get there, people are it's gonna be, how do you live up to the hype?
Well, somebody else will just draw it. Somebody probably already had like an animation of it on YouTube.
Tell that to a Kingdom Hearts fan. We had to wait like almost like 10 years for 3.
I try to talk to Kingdom Hearts fans as little as possible, actually.
Agreed. Have you ever met a Kingdom Hearts fan that isn't just a degenerate 9/11 pedophile?
What?
I haven't.
No, me neither. No.
It's great. The intersection between people who play Kingdom Hearts and deny the Holocaust is it's odd. It's bloody odd.
What are you talking about?
Okay, here's one for you. Marvel versus DC.
Yeah. DC, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Mostly just because of Batman and Superman.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like both of those characters more than I like pretty much any Marvel character.
Well, and like I think the fact that they like, especially Superman becoming kind of the face of the industry.
Yeah, well, he was basically the first one. Oh,
Yeah.
that's gonna be loud. But yeah, he was basically the first one. Like the trouble with most superheroes is they're derivative of other superheroes,
Yeah.
like Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of a lot of characters in both companies are just Superman, but this, Superman, but this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like Shazam. Shazam is just Superman, but he's sometimes a kid.
Yeah, yeah. And he's a bunch of pagan gods, but also King Solomon for some reason.
I never understood that. It's hilarious.
I mean, okay, I have heard like legends, and this is all apocryphal. This is not in like the real Bible of like Solomon getting like a ring that he could control demons with, and so I'm wondering if it's something in line
maybe.
with that, where
Yeah.
like he was able to control pagan gods.
Yeah. Now Solomon Grundy on the other.
Yeah, Solomon Grundy, good character.
I love Solomon.
Yeah.
I really wish they would use Solomon Grundy in like a live action Batman setting.
Yeah,
Like I think it could make for like a really cool horror Batman.
Yeah.
Like serial killer in Gotham, and then he finds out he's a zombie.
yeah. I think Pattison would be the man to
That
fight
would
him.
be
Yeah.
a good one for
Yeah.
that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
What do you think's the main difference between Marvel and DC as far as like writing and characters and stuff goes?
I don't know, because I mean, at this point, it's a lot of the same guys. Guys will be at Marvel for a while, and then they'll switch to DC. I mean, in the early days, there was a very different creative process at Marvel versus DC, which was actually, I think, how they kind of got ahead for a while there. But DC, I mean, the thing that they had going for them is they came up with Superman.
Yeah.
And then everybody copied that, and then they came up with Batman, and everybody wanted to be that. And then it's just like, well, it's ours forever. So
Yeah. I forget where I saw it, but I kind of agree with the sentiment that like Marvel focuses more and like versus DC story-wise, it's like Marvel focuses more on the secret identity is the character versus the superhero, where
Yeah.
in DC it's kind of the superhero first.
yeah,
Like Spider-Man stories are more about Peter Parker and how he deals with being Spider-Man, where Batman
Yeah.
stories are more about how like Bruce Wayne is actually Batman's secret identity.
yeah. Well, and like it's interesting too. Like I used to be really into Spider-Man, but now I've looked at a couple Spider-Man stories which kind of just work as endings for him, because there's sort of two endings that Spider-Man could have. There's he can stay as a kid forever and end up as like Into the Spider-Verse Peter Parker, where he's totally irresponsible. The minute stuff gets hard, he lets himself go and
Yeah.
doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And then the other version is basically where he becomes a medieval king, like in Spider-Man Back in Black, where, yep, they find out his secret identity, which was inevitable. That would happen eventually.
Yeah.
And they shoot his Aunt May, and then he goes and beats the crap out of the gangsters and intimidates them into leaving him alone.
Yeah.
And he's like, by the way, like, here's my face, come and get me. And I'm really going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well, that's a very logical sort of ending for Spider-Man,
Yeah.
And so there's it's kind of those two roads diverged, and both of those stories have kind of been written, and they always like kind of back off. Oh wait, no, he's a kid again.
Yeah.
Like he'll get married, and they'll change the fabric of time and space to be like, oh no, he was never married.
Yeah.
He doesn't have kids. There's no miscarriage. And so it's just like that's happened so many times, and like you can see it in the movies too.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, reboot. What do we do now? Just bring back the other two guys from before.
Yeah, honestly. Maybe I feel like that's because for a lot of like audience, Spider-Man is less compelling once he grows up, kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
for
he's a
sure.
childish
Yeah.
character, but
Yeah.
it's always something to be said when people like. I always like when somebody comes along and takes a character and extrapolates them
Yeah.
into the future, like. Because, like, I know it's sort of been done to death a bit with certain things, but yeah, I am a sucker for, like, what about this superhero when they're, like, 50?
Yeah.
And, like, Batman, like, those are always really compelling Batman stories, like
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns, where it's,
Yeah.
like, what happens 20 years from now when
Yeah.
he's worn down by all of this?
Yeah.
Like,
It's just like, well, magically he's still really strong and fast.
yeah, somehow he's 60 and he's still
Yeah.
300 pounds and jacked.
Yeah.
And then they'll always try and show, like, oh, actually, he's a bit slower because that nicked him. And then it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, cool, but it's not affecting him in any way,
Yeah,
shape, or
yeah,
form.
exactly. Yeah. Green Arrow lost his whole arm.
Yeah.
Now he just draws the bow with his teeth.
That was so great. I love that.
Yeah. So cool. But then the sequel to that was so trash.
Secret, the Dark Knight Returns.
Dark
Part
Knight,
2?
yeah, no, Strikes Again.
Oh yeah.
The art was so bad. Oh my, that was a bit. I mean, that's a very cold take. Everybody knows that one sucked, but yeah, yeah, it. But yeah, with Batman though, they keep on coming out with good stuff.
Yeah.
Like in contrast to Spider-Man, like they just keep on putting out stuff where I'm just like, I never thought of it that way before. I can kind of relate.
Which is kind of the beauty of what makes Batman such a good character is the fact that like it's just endless mythos you can get out of
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
there's no end to what you can do. And he has such a rich rogues gallery.
Yeah,
which I think's
that's
a
the other
big
thing.
advantage.
Yeah, they make they lucked out too because he got all these amazing villains so early in the industry.
Yeah.
And then again, everybody wanted to copy it, but it's just like, well, sorry, the trickster that the Flash fights is never gonna be the Joker. He's never even gonna be the Riddler. Like it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
Besides Batman, who would you say has the best rogues gallery?
Oh man, that's tough. Like there's nobody that really even compares. I would say Spider-Man would be up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the Green Goblin and all the animal guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does have a lot of animal guys, which
Yeah.
I guess is fair since he's an animal.
He's
guy,
an
but-
animal guy. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and like with Spider-Man, you know, it's a little more Shakespearean with like Norman and stuff, where it's like, well,
Yeah.
it's his friend's dad. You know, it's basically a relative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's this one.
Oh, sorry.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Don't
Let
touch-
the people see your face.
Don't
Yeah.
touch me, criminal.
You criminal scum.
You totally put me off. What were we talking about?
We're talking
Villains,
comic
yeah.
Oh
books.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Comic book villains.
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
right.
some of the best villains for me are like the Fourth World guys, like Darkseid.
Yeah.
Darkseid is so goated. So like he's basically like, I don't know, an Orion and Mr. Miracle villain.
Yeah.
But like
Conan
he's the
O'Brien
best.
or-
Like, yeah.
No, not Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. Orion, not O'Brien.
Oh, I see.
That would be so funny if they got Conan to play Orion.
Conan
in a
was
DC
in
movie.
Conan O'Brien.
the animated adaptation of Dark Knight Returns. Conan was in it. He played the late night show host that the Joker
Okay.
kills.
Okay, yeah. I can see that. Oh yeah, those were good scenes too, where like they were like blaming Batman for like all the mental illness in Gotham.
And then Joker walks in and
Yeah.
murders them
yeah,
all.
yeah.
You're laughing. You killed all these people and you're laughing.
There was a good Joker voice in that one too from Michael Emerson from Lost. He was very good actually.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Joker voice?
I'm still a Hamill man.
Oh, 100%.
Very basic, yeah.
If we set Hamill aside,
So it's got to be a voice talent, not like a.
I'll go with acting.
Just-
too,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess.
I mean, I like Ledger too. Again, the coldest
Ledger's
take
great.
possible.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I for a hot second there, back like a couple years ago there, I didn't think Jared Leto's was that bad. I thought there was like, okay, there's places to go with this. And then as time went on, I was like, nah, it was awful.
Yeah. No, that's-
That was brutal. And then when they finally released that like post-credit scene there, and everybody was freaking out about it, and I'm like, no, actually, that
sucked.
confirms for me how bad it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Because that was awful.
Yeah. That looked cool. Like I liked, Batman in like the trench coat and stuff, and like fighting parademons and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Because I love the idea of like Batman battling, the forces of evil at the end of the world after the world's been invaded by the worst planet possible.
And fresh
Like,
concepts. Like,
yeah, I love that. But then the Joker being with him is like his lackey or whatever. It's just
How
like,
does that make any
guys,
sense?
I've watched Lord of the Rings. Okay, that's been done. They had Gollum. He came in handy at the end. He bit off Frodo's finger. Spoiler alert. And that was great. But that's one of those plot points that you don't get to reuse. That's just in Lord of the Rings. Okay, and you never get to use it again.
Favorite comic book artist?
Honestly, I'm a really big fan of Jim Lee. I like the modern look. Just the way he draws his lines is just perfect. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about writer?
Writer, I'm still a Grant Morrison guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty popular.
As
pick, yeah.
weird as he is, but like I read his book and everything. I read Super Gods. I've read. I got a bunch of his Animal Man stuff. I think
Nice.
maybe all of his Animal Man stuff for Christmas. Where he just got me, it was It was really good. Yeah. I hadn't had that much fun reading comics in a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
Avengers or Justice League?
Justice League. Yeah.
Nice. That was
Yeah.
a quick answer. Why?
Oh yeah. Well, just because again, a lot of my favorite characters on there, like the Flash. To me, he's the ultimate speedster. He's the one where they're like, no, let's take this to the logical extreme. Let's go absolutely bonkers with this.
Yeah.
Make him as fast as possible, and just make him a really nice guy too. You know, but like not country fried nice. He's just a nice guy from the city or whatever. So I like the Flash. Of course, Batman and Superman we talked lots about. I like Green Lantern.
Who's your favorite Green Lantern?
Oh, that's tough.
Ryan Reynolds.
Piss off.
I just go classic Hal Jordan. He's cool. But I don't know. With Green Lantern, since there are so many, I'm just like, just have like 3 or 4 of them. It's fine.
Yeah, fair enough, honestly.
Yeah.
Kilowog.
yeah, get Kilowog in there. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say from now on. Yeah, who's your favorite Green Lantern? Kilowog.
Yeah.
What?
Fair enough. Yeah. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing Guy Gardner in the new Superman.
That is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
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 Nathan Fillion's take intrigues me.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the hair just perfect.
Who has the best lair? Which superhero has the best hideout?
Batman. Yeah. Yeah. The fact that it's underground, but like there's a very nice house upstairs. You know, he's got all his vehicles down there. He's got all his technology. He's got a machine shop. The machine shop is a big one. I feel like not enough guys have a machine shop in their lair. And it's just like, well, where do you get all this stuff? It's just like, oh, just make it. It's like, okay, but how do you make it? Like,
Yeah, he's a good fabricator.
yeah, exactly. You got to be a fabricator. Yeah.
Well, it's like they always show like Batman going away to get like ninja training and all this other shit. I would love to see the part of Batman where where did he learn welding? Where did he learn mechanics? He knows these things.
Yeah.
Where did he learn? Did he read it in like for dummies?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. His
Where's
dad
the
might have shown him some
community
stuff.
college Batman?
Yeah. But also, like, in the comics, he did have a guy, he was like a hunchback. I forget his name even, but yeah, he had a hunchback who lived with him in the cave and worked on the engines and stuff.
I don't know that.
Yeah. It was,
Like
I
an
just
Igor
got,
type thing?
yeah, just kind of in the 90s. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then I think he showed up in Hush. I think he died in Hush. They killed him in Hush. Hush is goated. If you haven't read Hush, that's it. That's killer.
I keep hearing rumors that Hush is going to be the Batman 2 plot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like Thomas Elliott was alluded to a whole
Yeah.
bunch in the Batman.
A lot of foreshadowing.
And so yeah. Now he was alluded to as a very different character. He's a reporter. It's like, well, Thomas Elliott was Bruce's peer first of all,
Yeah.
and second of all was a doctor. And yeah. Oh man. Such a good graphic novel. And like I was saying, Jim Lee, favorite comic artist of all time. He did all the art for it.
Right, yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
Can't recommend that one enough. They're making a like a sequel in the comics to that now.
Oh, are they?
So yeah, that's gonna
Interesting.
be, which they've done before, but never like with Jim Lee on board. So they're always just like kind of like hokey art by comparison. No offense to the artist that worked on Heart of Hush and stuff. You're just not Jim Lee. But yeah.
Favorite superhero movie ever?
Superhero movie. Again, super basic. Probably The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Just the twists and turns, man.
It's just a good script. Like,
Yeah.
It's an incredible just crime thriller.
Yeah, and then very well acted too, and like everything looks the way a movie should. Like all the practical effects and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
all the like implements that they would use like while robbing a bank or like blowing up a window or whatever. You could tell it was like this was just like something they got from the army or something that like
Yeah.
you can hear it click and hiss and do all the stuff.
Nolan always has
yeah.
such good sound design.
Yeah. Well, and he always does that thing where at some point in the movie, there's going to be a huge vehicle, like a semi or a fire truck, which is a normal thing that you see in real life, but you're going to get to see it do something crazy. You know, it's like they have that scene where like they flip a semi forward like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well, and I'm pretty sure they really did that. Like they,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Surely that was practical.
And
yeah.
and so it's just like, well, that's just a thing to see that like they would have had to put a lot of money into, and now you get to look at it and you can watch it as many times as you want, and it doesn't cost you any extra.
Well, part of the reason we do this podcast, Brock, is to educate Dallas a little bit, because as you know, like Dallas is he's an audio tech, and he's a pretty good audio tech, but he doesn't know really much else. He has no formal education really beyond that. He didn't pay attention much in high school. So Dallas, now that we have an expert on superheroes and comic books, etc., with us, do you have any questions for our expert today?
If Bonesaw had a comic book, would you read it?
That's a good twist.
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good job, Dallas.
Thank you.
Normally-
I got you in for 3 minutes.
3 minutes of playtime.
I want to get... Okay, Dallas, I'm going to collect for you all of the superhero films that have a cameo from a wrestler. I will watch them all. I think Kevin Nash is in The Punisher.
Yes. He got stabbed in the
Oh,
heart
the
in that
Thomas
one.
Jane one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
It's a
movie
good
is
movie.
so good.
So underrated. The other Punisher movies are some of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen. But
Agreed.
that one's great.
Yeah. Wow. That one, honestly, if I was to think about that and like remember that it existed, that would definitely be in my top 10 superhero
It's
movies
great,
of all
yeah.
time. Yeah.
It's right at that period, too, where John Travolta figured out he could rebrand himself as a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he just did that for a while.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to some of our regular segments and our regular scheduled programming here on the Anything Else podcast, sponsored by... There, and then
Mom.
we can insert a sponsor if we need one later. I don't know.
Just gonna leave this blank. Just make it funny.
This is a fan favorite and definitely Ollie's favorite segment. This is Who Dis. So for Who Dis, I'm going to give you the name of a real person.
Okay.
I'm not expecting you to know who this is. In fact, I'm pretty sure you won't. That's the idea. I want you to tell me who you think this person is based off of the name I
Just
give
their name. Okay.
you. Your real person today is Jizz Hornkamp.
Jizz Hornkamp. Well, that's
Jizz Hornkamp.
it's a Star Wars character. They changed him names to Jazz
yeah.
Hoskin in the like new version, the like
Yeah, he
re-release
played-
where like you have the
Yeah, he's a
CGI
jizz
guys.
musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the Cantina guys.
yeah.
No, I thought he was a bounty hunter. Anyway, I could
That is
be
a good
wrong.
name for a bounty hunter, actually.
But yeah, Jizz Hubcap or whatever. That was a big bounty hunter in like the original trilogy. Because there's lots of those characters there where like in the movie they're not named, but like they get an action figure that has a name on it. You know?
That's even funnier than the real name. I don't know why. That's so good. Jizz Hornkamp is he's a Dutch footballer.
Oh.
Plays for Heracles Football Club in the Netherlands
Okay.
and has an unfortunate first name.
Yeah. Do you think that was his given name?
It is his given name.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Our next segment is a new one this season. This segment's called Brush with Fame. So, Brock, what is your most boring celebrity story? Have you ever seen a celebrity across the street or something like that?
Yeah. I once did a podcast with Alex Lynch.
That one's going to be really funny in about 5 years.
yeah. Oh no, we'll be famous before then. Man, that's a good question. I don't know. The only celebrities I really meet are just like at Comic-Con. But yeah, I don't really have like a whole lot of like memorable stories about them. I shook John Rhys Davis's hand. That was a thrill.
That's solid.
Yeah. I have the picture. I was wearing this exact hoodie. I'm pretty sure actually.
Is that your favorite person you've ever met at a Comic-Con?
Yeah. He was very cool. Yeah. Just so clever, you know, and it just really walked the line between like not being like self-deprecating or anything, but also not genuinely being arrogant either.
Self-aware.
Yeah, very self-aware. Yeah.
That's good.
And like he would like when there was like a question period, he would answer everyone's question very much based on like how they asked the question. So if they wanted him to answer in character, he would just do it. And if not, you know, he would be genuine and whatever.
Who is he to you, character-wise?
Gimli primarily.
He's Gimli?
Yeah. But I liked him in Indiana Jones. And as he pointed out, the two best Indiana Jones ones, the most well-received ones that everybody likes,
He's in them.
those were the ones he was in. Yeah. So, you know, he's like, do with that information what you will.
This next segment doesn't have a fun name or anything. Maybe I should come up with a fun name for it. I will eventually. What is your most useless piece of expertise? Something you're really good at that has really no real world
Playing your
application.
originals.
We got a comedian over here. Wow.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I know how to do so many useless things. I feel like everybody is like so good at doing their own dishes.
Yeah.
You know, they know how to do exactly their dishes that no one else is. I'm quite good at that.
That'd make a really,
Yeah.
really good like anti-podcast to just like just videotape people doing their dishes and explaining how they go about washing things. This is how I wash my slow cooker.
Yeah. My mom always told me.
All right, which one of these buttons is the fun music?
Yeah, that one.
All right, as of right now, you know what that means. It's time for Are You Smarter Than Dallas Outsider?
Yeah.
The Trivial Pursuit Edition. And that should be an applause, but if you're not hearing an applause, then, well...
You guys
don't-
got to invest in some headphones.
He has them right there, he just doesn't like to put them on. Also,
they
because
wreck his hair or what?
how can you wreck Dallas's hair?
Yeah, right.
Well, maybe he has a particular way he likes it. Apparently, there's no way that you like it.
I'll still never
That's
forget
fine.
when he dyed it red the first time, and he was like wearing a hat, and I could clearly tell his hair was dyed. I could see it up the street. And I was like, "Oh, Dallas, you dyed your hair," and he just didn't acknowledge I spoke to him. Just walked right past me, went to the apartment, and like was in there, and we were like, "Oh, when did he dye it?" And we were asking like. We're like, oh, when did he dye his hair? Or what, like, Dallas, when did you dye your hair? Just didn't talk to us. And then we got in, and he takes his toque off. He's like, so I dyed my hair, guys. Just wanted to have my reveal.
Main character energy.
Yeah, like, get help, Dallas. That was this week's Get Help, Dallas. If you have any Get
Get
Help,
some help.
Dallas, send them in to anythingelsepodcast@gmail.com. All right. So the premise of Are You Smarter Than Dallas Outsider is the guest gets to go first. I'm going to ask you a question. If you get it wrong or pass, I send it to Dallas. Best of 5.
Okay.
So the first question: What were there 58,307 miles of in Canada in 1977?
Railroad.
Railroad tracks is
Damn it.
correct.
I was gonna take that one.
All right, so we're one up here. Next question. What is the English translation of the 1982 German World War II film Das Boot?
Sorry, one more time. What was that?
What is the English translation of the 1982 German World War II film Das Boot?
Oh.
I know this one.
Can I see how that's spelled?
No.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
The boot.
You're going with the boot?
Yeah.
It is not the boot.
The boat.
The boat
Oh,
is
Yeah.
correct.
Oh no, we're tied. Okay.
Oh, no, Dallas has been hot this season. In our previous episode that never came out because Dallas formatted the SD card and deleted all the files, not like I'm mad about it or anything, Dallas actually won big time.
No, I lost that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Dallas is 1 for 1. Okay, here's one for you. What province's centennial was celebrated with the first federal cabinet meeting outside of Ottawa? What province's centennial was celebrated with the first federal cabinet meeting outside of Ottawa?
I'm gonna say Alberta.
It was not Alberta.
Is it a city or a province?
Well, I
Name-
said province, so...
Okay.
All right, I win this round.
I'm gonna say BC.
It was not. It was Manitoba.
Damn it!
I didn't even
Oh,
know that,
jeez.
to be honest. I learned something new about my home.
Oh,
Here's
a home for the homeless.
Here's a simple question. It's a good 50-50 here. I've never seen a yes or no in Trivial Pursuit.
A genius edition.
Can Robin... take this how you want, Brock. Can robins hear worms coming?
Okay. I don't know what to say to that. Yes, they can.
Dallas to steal?
No.
No is correct.
Oh no!
Is this the tiebreaker? I think this is the tiebreaker. I won't do another yes or no.
Okay, good.
All right, for the win here, Brock, who tried to blow up Parliament British Parliament on November 5th, 1605?
Guy Fawkes.
Guy Fawkes is correct.
Yeah.
That was a close one, but the guest takes it this week.
Damn.
Brock is smarter than Dallas Outsider,
Wow.
as if we needed more proof.
It's always this mean to you, Dallas.
Yeah.
Only sometimes.
Okay.
Only on Sundays.
Only on Sundays.
Not until 4.
Not so. What is that? What is
Don't you
that?
have to be so stupid somewhere else? Not till 4.
All right, so we're going to move on to our quick fire questions. So by quick fire, I don't mean like quick answer these. It's just kind of like simple questions.
Yeah.
So we've changed the format of this first one over the years. So we used to ask kind of what's your favorite such and such movie, but we've kind of tweaked it a little bit. In one film, what constitutes to you the best and the worst Nic Cage movie?
In one film. The best and the worst. I don't know. See, I'm a big time Nic Cage enjoyer. Like, not that I've seen all of his movies, but whenever I do, I'm just like, well, I don't see what the problem is. I know lots of people like that. So I guess I'll just say Matchstick Men.
That is
Yeah.
a good poll, actually.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Have you seen Matchstick Men, Dallas?
No, I have not.
It is, yeah, very much the best and worst Nic Cage movie. If you could put a CSI in any city, what would it be?
Saskatoon.
CSI Saskatoon. That's solid.
Yeah.
What is the best ice cream flavor?
Cookie dough.
That's a good one. Honestly, I can't believe more people aren't saying cookie dough.
Yeah. Cookie dough blizzard though, or just cookie dough ice cream?
The creamier, the better. But blizzards are good too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Remember when Ollie found out how many calories are in a blizzard? That when we went to DQ last summer, and Ollie got like a large blizzard, and we were all sat there eating ice cream, and then Ollie's like, I wonder how many calories are in this. And I looked it up, and he just like, it was like he wanted to vomit.
I don't know what he was expecting.
Well, yeah,
He
right.
thought it was health food or what? Like,
I mean, it's a lot more than you'd expect, but like, yeah, you're eating a giant tub of ice cream. Like, take the L. Planes, trains, or automobiles?
Automobiles.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What is the best pop flavor? I gotta start saying soda. Ollie wrote that.
Yeah. The best flavor of pop that you
Yeah.
folks will ever hear is the pop rock played by Oh wait. I'm not supposed Oh no. I'm not supposed to talk about that.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay. Pop. I don't know. I like to switch it up. I like, I'll get like some root beer and some orange and then some cola.
At the same time, like you talking swamp water?
No. Just like one day I'll have one. And
Have you ever
then
had
other
the
something else.
Spitzel?
The what?
The Spitzel?
Sounds German.
What's the Spitzel?
It's a mixture. You go to a fountain and you put in Coke, Sprite, and I believe it's orange Fanta. That's the Spitzel.
Why is it called a Spitzel? What's that mean?
I don't know. I went to some restaurant in Las Vegas, and that's what the guy said.
They're trying to recruit you into their brotherhood. Come join the Spitzel.
I mean, Fanta was invented by the Nazis.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah. It was invented in World War II by Germany because they couldn't get they couldn't get the ingredients to make Coca-Cola anymore because of trade embargoes. But they had a shitload of oranges for some reason, so they made Fanta.
Trade embargoes for the win.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
What's something that feels illegal but isn't?
Drinking Fanta.
Man, I'm just realizing how many times I broke the one rule on this podcast. Anyway, something that feels illegal but isn't. Yeah, I'm a really great guest. I like to bring as much dead air as possible.
I'll hit a sound effect button.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. Or whatever that was. We don't have headphones, folks, so we don't really know. I keep thinking of things that are illegal. I'm like spitting in town. Oh, wait, that is illegal. That's just, when you
What's
gotta go,
something
you
that's
gotta
illegal?
go.
What's something illegal that you still do because it's not really illegal?
Spitting in town.
Yeah.
Like speeding a little bit.
Speeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speeding is also kind of such a gray area because, like, especially on the highway.
Yeah.
Because, like, realistically on the highway, you can go about.
That's why it's a divided highway. Like,
Yeah.
For passing.
I mean,
people.
Brock's from Alberta, so he's a bit biased on speeding on highways.
Yeah. Not that I ever, drove when I was
Actually, yeah,
living
to
there,
be
but
honest, yeah, that's a good point.
I was 10 years old when we left, but
What, if you had to pick one, what is your favorite card in a deck of cards?
the king of clubs.
King of clubs.
Yeah.
Any reason?
Yeah, because I like to hit people with clubs.
Wow! Wow! We need to. Can I program those?
Yeah.
If I could put me doing Tom Hanks on there.
Oh yeah, I could just put in Tom Hanks.
Wow! What's your favorite small town?
Your favorite small town? Oh man, that's another tough one. Castor. I like Castor a lot.
Sweet. About time we had a guest that actually has been to enough small towns to have a favorite.
Yeah.
All you city boys.
Yeah.
What is the best tool?
Jealous outsider.
Oh, you got him. He's done you again.
Wow.
He's done him again.
A hammer? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And final question. Aliens, question mark?
What?
Aliens, question mark?
Probably not. I don't know. They're fun to think about. Like
Oh, yeah.
I was saying, Batman fighting aliens. That's always a good time. but do I think there's aliens? Not really. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. That was the quickfire round. So moving on to what has honestly become my favorite segment. I wish I'd thought of this season 1. This is such an amazing segment. This is called Do You Want This?
Sounds dumb.
Whoa! All right. So this week's Do You Want This is this unopened shoelace. Do you want this?
You know what? Yeah.
All right. Hey. This has been Do You Want This?
Yeah. That is a good segment. I like it because I got something.
He likes it because he got something. Dallas likes it because I lost something.
Yeah.
It's all great. Now, this next segment is called Does It British? So this is where our friend and brother and co-host Ollie Wilson Smith, Eldrick, I don't know, on the I'm not using his stage name on the pod anymore. This is Dallas Becker, by the way.
All right, now the facade is out of the way.
And I'm Alex von Lichtenstein.
Alexander von Lichtenstein.
And so this is a segment
Alexander
where...
Lint Roller.
Lint Roller.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, there is an Alex Lint. I believe he's an actor.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a fun fact for you. So this is where Ollie sends us a Britishism,
Okay.
and you have to figure out if you can tell me what you think this means. So this week's Britishism on Does It British is black over Bill's mothers.
One more time. Sorry.
Black over Bill's mothers.
Black over Bill's mothers.
There's black over Bill's mothers.
Black over Bill's mothers.
Ah, it's black over Bill's mothers, isn't it? Weird, isn't it?
Boy. I feel like that just means like fiddlesticks. Like, well, whatever.
Like, darn it kind of thing.
Yeah. Who cares?
It actually means that it's going to rain.
Okay.
There's black over Bill's mothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Last week's was, or last episode's was tactical chunder. Do you know what a tactical chunder is?
Throwing up on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're out drinking, so you can drink more.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So this next segment, this is Who Said It? So this
Me,
is
probably.
This is very much
say a lot of
one of
things.
my favorite segments, mostly because it gives me an excuse to go to Dallas Outsiders Twitter. Which, if you haven't seen Dallas's Twitter, it's a treasure trove of hilarity. So I'm going to give you a tweet
That was
from.
nice. That was a nice thing you said about Dallas.
He's a lovely guy.
I wasn't listening. What'd you say?
I said you're a lovely guy.
Oh, okay.
No,
You dress
he
snazzy.
also said you're
Your
funny,
Twitter's
but-
great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised you're not viral and sensation-y.
Yeah,
'cause
follow
you're-
me on Twitter, guys.
Yeah,
at
follow
Dallas
him on
Outsider.
Twitter. He's got his ear pierced, and I always forget that. So every time, sometimes I look at him, and I'm just like, "Oh, geez, when did
Yeah.
you do that?" So I'm gonna give you.
You're still on Twitter. I didn't know you're a fascist there, Dallas.
Well, there's a reason why I still call it Twitter and not X. So.
Yeah. That's as political as Dallas gets. All right, so Brock, who said it? Dallas or Cardi B? Yes, men do deserve to get a gift as well for Valentine's Day, but the gift has to be less expensive than the girl's gift. So if he buys you flowers, you buy him grass.
The so makes you think it's Cardi B.
It was Cardi B.
You gave it away with the delivery.
Now, for the second one, who said it, Dallas or Cardi B? You either die pissing or you live long enough to see yourself shitting.
That's Dallas. That's got to be Dallas.
I've been laughing about that all week since I saw that.
That is true. It's absolutely true.
It was true for Elvis. Wow, hit the sound effect. Okay, so this is a segment we call Gun to Your Head. So we're going to tell you a scenario here, and you're going to have to tell us which of the three hosts, Ollie included, you would pick for this. Which one of us...
Shoot Dallas.
If there was three hosts and two bullets, you'd shoot Dallas twice. Honestly, Dallas, if our group was The Office, you would be Toby.
That's the worst thing you've ever said to another human being.
So this week's Gun to Your Head. Which one of the three co-hosts would you rather look at, would you rather stare at after dropping acid? I mean, you don't want to look at any of us normally. That's why he sits behind us.
Yeah, exactly. I used to be a guitarist. No, couldn't stand to look at these guys. I don't know. I feel like Alex would be the most understanding if I got scared.
That's a good answer. I like that.
He's helped me through some big feelings.
Or would I get too weird with it?
Yeah.
Alex, I'm having a bad trip. That's okay.
But see, I know Ollie would be doing some stuff like that.
That's
for
true.
Sure.
That's fair.
You might have a good day.
All right, and then our final of the regular segments is our Secret Time Redux. So we've changed Secret Time. Instead of giving you a bunch of secrets and having you assign them to each of the guests, I'm going to give you one secret, and you have to say whose it is. It's not so much a secret. It's more of a trivia question, really. Out of the three of us, which one of us got our first job in a convenience store? Dallas, Ollie, or me?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna say Ollie.
It's Ollie, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ollie had his first job at Sainsbury's,
Okay.
which sounds like a
Yeah.
high-end clothing store, but isn't.
Yeah. And Dallas's first job was at Insaneberries, actually.
Wow. Was your first job the movie theater?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You worked at a Cineplex?
Yep.
Nice.
I did.
Dallas
I
worked for Cineplex
I-
and prefers Landmark.
I worked at a really big Cineplex. It had 20 theaters in there.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I guess that's Vancouver, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Well, Brock, it's been a pleasure having you today. So our last closeout area here is the shout-out section. So the ban on music is lifted. Is there anything you want to plug?
Well,
Any shows happening?
there are
He might have a couple, yeah.
a couple November Down shows. You can hear this fella sing, and that
Ooh.
fella play guitar, and me play drums.
Yeah.
It's going to be very beautiful.
Alex doesn't play guitar.
It's going to be at the Green Room in Saskatoon. I forget the exact date, but you can follow us on
April 18th.
April 18th. Follow us on Instagram for more information on that.
Yep.
April 18th at Green Room here in Saskatoon, and then the following day in Regina.
Yep.
That's
We're at
the
Exchange.
Easter weekend, so surely to God you have it off.
Yeah, you have no excuses.
You'll be able to come out.
Oh, but I want to have Easter dinner with my family. What, at like 10 o'clock? Get over yourself.
Yeah.
Liar.
And like realistically, what's more important, November Down or family?
Exactly.
Like I would say November Down for
We're
sure,
more fun.
unless
Yeah.
there was a Yeoman show that night, you'd probably want to
Whoa.
go to that.
When's the next
but
Yeoman show?
The next Yeoman show, I actually am not at liberty to say.
Oh no.
But they are coming up. Do follow Yeoman on Instagram as well. You can find all kinds of clips of me singing and stuff. With my sister on piano and all the good old guys in that band.
You can also see Brock doing some. Well, I can't. It's very Andy Kaufman-esque the way you react to people's memes.
Oh yeah. I do like to talk some smack on the Instagram there. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes it's serious, usually not.
If you'd like to smack Brock,
Yeah.
email in.
Yeah.
I always get jump scared by Brock when I'm watching Instagram.
Oh man.
Whenever I see a video, I was like,
I aim to frighten.
I get into it, and then all of a sudden it's Brock, and I was like, huh.
Well, thanks for coming on, Brock. It's been really fun. It's been very
Thank you
funny
for
as well. This
having
was
me,
a
yeah.
good episode, actually.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
make sure you follow the pod on Instagram, Anything Else Podcast. Make sure you go and save us. I guess it's called saving, right?
Yeah.
On all of your podcast
Yeah.
platforms. We're
Alex does need to be saved. Same with Alex.
on Apple, Spotify, good pods.
And also our Patreon.
And yeah, go and subscribe to the
Patreon.
Patreon. It's not that expensive, and we've got a lot of great content coming out. We've got some
Yeah.
good ideas for it coming up. So yeah, make sure you are.
for as much as the price of coffee at Starbucks a month.
What is the price of coffee at Starbucks?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't get coffee
I
at
imagine
Starbucks.
I imagine everything at Starbucks is at least $5.
At least Starbucks sucks. Anyways,
This episode definitely not
Bye.
sponsored by Starbucks.
this episode's sponsored by Second Cup, please. We'll shit on all your competitors. Bye.